Hello everybody, welcome back to the Optegra Premiership 2024-25 season. We're here for a game between Aspire and Norwich City PFC. I'm joined by Greg Baxter. Greg, how are you?
I'm good, Charlie, mate, thank you. Long day, great power chair football. Long may it continue with this game against, well, we've got two teams at opposite ends of the table, opposite aspirations coming into this season, haven't we?
Yes.
With Aspire and Norwich.
It's good, you've still got a game left, haven't you, with
Oh, yes.
Teesside?
Yes, we do.
Tough one as well. Against Greenbank. So we're nearly ready to go. The two squads just flickering up on your screens now. The central referee for this game is Pete Buller. Ian Harley. Ian
Otherwise
Harley
known as Pete Buller.
It's been a long day.
Is that his alter ego?
Pete Buller. Right, anyway, Pete Buller is about to get us underway here.
You can't keep calling it Pete Buller.
I'm about to change it on the graphic. Full send. Right, we are underway. John Boulding repping a snood today. It's a chilly one here, the December Nationals weekend kicks us off.
He's getting a bit old, he's got to keep himself protected from the elements a bit more.
Yes. I apologise to Ian for any offence caused by the mispronunciation of his name. It's not even close.
No, you just completely made up a random name.
Yeah. John Boulding, cut out by Thomas Donaher, one of two Donaher brothers that have made the switch to the English leagues for this season. Obviously Sean faced Aspire earlier with his side Nottinghamshire. Aspire coming out 4-1 winners in that one, and they're moving the ball nicely here to begin with. Rosie Hodgson has a strike blocked. Mike Coleman now just dribbling it out and up to halfway. Boulding wins a corner.
I mean, coming into this game, you'd expect Aspire to be dominant, and Norwich have struggled to keep clean sheets.
Yeah, I think while Aspire haven't managed to hit the heights that they would have wanted to today, they had quite a disappointing second half against Nottinghamshire earlier. They'd still back themselves to pick up a win here as Hodgson strikes, blocked by Mike Coleman. Now potentially a chance to counter-attack for Norwich, but Boulding's there.
Got some hefty contact.
Yeah, strong tackle. Now it's Henry Barnard. There is some contact between the two, just Barnard deemed to have been a little bit too forceful. So we'll restart with a free kick to Aspire, just about a third of the way up the court. It's going to be a kick in for Aspire out on the right hand side. And so the game starting as you'd expect, Aspire with a lot of the possession of the ball, making most of the passes, but Norwich trying to be as pragmatic as they can with their defensive setup. Here is Donaher. Thomas Donaher tries an ambitious spin. Boulding just nicks it off the edge of his bumper, then drives at Coleman, tries to drive through Coleman, and again, it's going to be pulled back for a 2-on-1 in favour of Aspire. Barnard. Boulding. Still John Boulding. Now it's Dan McClellan with the full spin. It's bounced off the chair of Coleman. It will go out for a corner. Just for a moment you wondered where that was going to end up. It's an interesting setup this from Aspire. It's towards the back post for Boulding, who fires at the near post for him. Ball bounces back. Coleman now looking to dribble it away.
I think that ball shouldn't be getting to the back post. From a kick in especially. That ball shouldn't be going all the way through to John Bolden there.
No, that was... I mean, it was an interesting setup because they usually expect John Bowling to be sort of at the near post, at the top of the box, and he dropped a bit deeper, but yeah, it was a bit of a lapse in concentration. Norwich will just want to stop the ball moving as much as they can. Stop Aspire getting their speed of play up.
Difficult one for Rosie Hodgson this, coached Norwich last year. Norwich through and through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's something that she can relatively easily put out of her mind, but I know she's very proud of the way that the team got promoted last year and is challenging the Premiership head on. As on Court A, Villa Rockets take on Sevenoaks. A game that Sevenoaks will see as an opportunity potentially, as Aspire have a kick in out on the right hand side. Dan McClellan drops deep to take this. It's gone all the way to the back post for Rosie Hodgson. Boulding, McClellan, John Boulding back into Dan McClellan, who goes all the way around. It's come back to Hodgson. Full spin. And it was a good chance for Aspire and good early signs that they'll be able to break through this Norwich defence. Johan George to take the goal kick. Donaher.
They're creating good opportunities.
They are.
They've got to take one.
Yes.
6 minutes in, it's still 0-0, which would be, I think, more encouraging for Nottingham, Norwich. But Aspire have had the chances. Here's another one.
Hodgson, who's insistent on getting that ball back over to that right-hand side. Mike Coleman battles away. Oh, and he's come away with it as well. John Bolden getting rinsed in the battle, which doesn't happen often. Still with Norwich's number 4. A player who they missed in the first weekend of the Optegra Premiership. He's back now, looking to add some pragmatism into the centre of the pitch for Norwich. Here's Henry Barnard. Manages to get the kick, the touch off.
Encouraging start from Norwich.
Yeah.
Aspire not having all their own way, and it's still 0-0, and not for the lack of chances.
My goal here would certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons, but a bit of a lack of quality.
Substitution.
So Rosie Hodgson's going off. On comes John Dixon, who signed from Throssell's in the summer. There was a lot of talk about whether he'd be able to make the step up in quality between the two sides, but so far he's had a very positive start to his Aspire career.
He's a player with real potential. I think it's shown in the opening few games that he's fitted in quite seamlessly.
Here's Thomas Donaher to take this kick in on the right hand side. Boulding. Henry Barnard. Battling away well. Norwich, they've got good territory. They're not currently threatening the Aspire goal. Here's John Dixon on the counter-attack. It's actually gone to Dan McClellan. He wants to spin and Coleman meets him. McClellan comes away with it though. Dan McClellan, ball back in towards Boulding. Aspire linking the play up well. Here's John Dixon. Out on the right hand side.
If they were linking it better, they might have had a better opportunity there.
Yeah. John Dixon into John Boulding. McClellan. George clears the ball away out on the right hand side. The Aspire captain looking to recycle it. Dixon. Boulding again. Fires it into Dixon. Oof, comes very strange play on the right hand side from Aspire, but they've made it work. They still have it. Bit of Chuckle Brothers to me to you from Dixon and Boulding.
That's a reference that's far beyond your years, Charlie.
What can I say? I'm a man of culture.
The man of
Boulding. And they're doing really well here, Norwich.
Says the Peterborough fan, man of culture. I'm sure WFA chairperson Dean Williams would disagree. I mean, you're a massive Lincoln fan, isn't he? So
yeah. Well, he can argue with me about that later.
You can't win them all.
Donaher. Ball goes off the chair of Boulding. Now it's Henry Barnard. Boulding. McClellan now with a chance to spin. Back in towards Boulding. George. Boulding. Dixon. Can't quite get the spin off. It's still with Aspire.
Right idea though.
Just not quite able to get their play together so far, Aspire, in this game, as that's definitely gone out. Will be a kick in.
10 minutes gone, still 0-0.
Aspire will just be looking to inject a little bit of urgency into their play here. Definitely feels like a bit of a dreary Saturday afternoon, a bit of a late performance.
This will be really encouraging for Norwich.
Very much.
It's still 0. 10 minutes in, it's still 0. That'll be the first. That'd have been the first thing that manager would have said. You know, 10 minutes. Can we get to the first 10 minutes 0-0? Right. What about the next 10 minutes? We're getting at half time.
Yeah, I think that is sort of the thing for these games. If you set yourselves checkpoints, and rather than making the game one big sort of 40-minute task, you break it into 5-10 minute chunks. It can make it so much easier. But here's Mike Coleman. Donaher back into Coleman. In towards Barnard. Good speed of play.
Good move from Norwich. The more this carries on, the more Aspire and particularly John Boulding will start to get a bit more frustrated.
Yeah, and frustration will play into the hands of Norwich. That's, that can be their game. That's a really poor delivery from Tom Kelly. Now it's Dan McClellan, John Dixon. McClellan, Dixon, full spin, good strike actually. Blocked by George. Dixon again. Boulding. Dixon, can they add the finishing touch to their game? It's Dan McClellan across. John Dixon rifled it off the chair of Coleman. It's ended up bouncing back off.
His elbow.
I don't know, he took it like an absolute champ no matter what it hit.
Fair play. Got left arm of steel, like his bumper.
Yeah. Lovely silver bumper of John Dixon. Here's Boulding. McClellan. Just small fractures between the Aspire players right now, not necessarily on the same wavelength.
It's not clicked. I mean, you have to say they've had chances. On another day, especially the first 5 or 6 minutes, this could have been 3-0. I think that's fair to say, Charlie, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean they played really well in the first half earlier against Nottinghamshire. Second half was a lot like this actually, where they just couldn't really get the ball moving. But yeah, they just they'll be frustrated. I don't think they'll be panicking because they know that they have more than enough quality to get a goal. But you can just see the frustration beginning to set in.
Massively.
Coleman cuts it out.
That's when mistakes happen. The more frustrated you get, the more you sort of snatch at things, try and put too much power on them so your accuracy goes. They just try and stay as calm as they can.
Dixon did well to put that in an awkward position. John Dixon, definitely the more trigger happy of the two Aspire wingers right now. He's getting a lot of shots off at goal.
They need to kind of balance out the levels. That way, I think they would score more.
Dixon, Donaher again. Dixon tries to pick it off across. Well contested. Norwich currently seem like they're first to pretty much every 50-50. It's going to be a kick in for Aspire. Boulding. Barnard.
Does well to cut that out.
Boulding full spin. And it rolls in.
So cruel. That's so cruel for Norwich. That's so cruel. They don't deserve, if they're going to concede, they don't deserve to concede like that. Because they've defended heroically for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I'm not really sure what to put it down as. A Boulding goal, I guess. I think the shot was on target.
It was on target.
We'll put it down as a John Boulding goal. We'll check with the referee. But, I mean, there was no smile on the face of the Aspire players when the goal went in, was there?
No, they know that they haven't played well.
Yes.
And it's, I think, no matter what the scoreline is at half-time, John Boulding will be having serious words with his players.
Dixon, that's a good bit of play. Dan McClellan. Full spin back to Boulding, who can't keep it in. I mean, Boulding will have serious words with his players, but he's certainly not exempt from the poor performance. It's definitely been a whole team thing.
No, of course not.
Because there's just a little fix going on with Donaher's chair.
They'll be relieved to have finally got the goal. They won't, from a Aspire point of view, they won't care how they got it. They would have liked it to have been a free-flowing passing move. They've finally broken the deadlock. They at least, as it stands, it now requires Norwich to come out a bit more. And when that happens, Aspire will find more gaps.
Dan McClellan drives it wide, then plays back into his captain Boulding. Wins a corner.
I just think Norwich, the key is now getting at half-time. Get in at half-time 1-0 down. Regroup. Praise the players because they put in a really good shift.
Yeah. And just drum home that they're going to have a moment. You always have a moment, whether it's, you know, somebody has a chance to full spin on the counter or you get a set piece high up. You're going to have a chance in the game. It's just the nature of the sport. It can be very end-to-end at times, and just how they deal with it is. Better from Kelly. It's going to be a kick in on the left-hand side.
I wouldn't like to be one of these Aspire players at half-time.
No, it's not going to be enjoyable for them.
I'm just impressed that the determination and resilience of Norwich. They've taken some hefty defeats already this season, and here they are keeping the European champions Aspire to just 1-0 with 18 minutes played. They've taken a lot of hits, and they're bouncing back every time, which is what you want to see. You don't want a team that's recently promoted to lose hope and lose. You want them to learn from this experience, don't you?
Yeah, you sometimes see it where teams just accept their fate after, you know, a weekend sometimes, but certainly by Christmas some teams just accept they're going down, but it doesn't feel like that is the case for any of the teams at the bottom of the table. I mean, Norwich will see their fixtures and see that they have plenty of opportunities to pick up points, and if they defend like this and they work on maybe mastering their set pieces or what a particular counter-attacking play that they can use to as a source of goals, then there'll be no reason that they can't hurt teams and win football matches.
It's been so much better from. I mean, yes, they've got Mike Coleman back in now after missing the first game week, but it's been from what I've watched in this 20 minutes, they've put together a couple of passing moves. It, there's not. They've got bits to latch onto and say, yeah, look, we can take that into. They'll have a moment, as you say, in this game, at games where they're more favoured to get a result. They've got to take those.
Yeah, they should definitely take encouragement from this performance so far, Norwich. And I think a lot will be made if it stays like this, of, you know, a Spire that were maybe slightly toothless. As there's a goal that is commentated. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? A Spire who are a bit toothless, and then the ball gets played across, and a Spire make it 2-0.
This time, Dan McLennan doesn't waste the opportunity that Spire created. Fires it into the back of the net. They double their advantage and they can breathe now. I think they'll still get a telling off from John, and John will know himself this hasn't been vintage from him either.
Yeah.
But they've got 2 goals now, and that's really harsh on Norwich. But I think they just wanted to get in at half time. They were so close to getting in at half time, just 1-0. That would have given them something to push on and give them the hope of getting something out of this game. Late hit there from Donoher on Bowling. There is the half-time whistle, Charlie.
So there it is. It's Aspire 2, Norwich 0. So Aspire currently have in their arsenal the 3 points, which is the most important thing in games like these. But they will not be happy with their performance altogether. They will want to go and reassess and figure out where they can perhaps hurt Norwich a bit more in the second half. For Norwich, it will be a half-time of consolidating what was a good performance, and then looking forward to the second half and making sure that they can continue their resilience. We'll be back for the second half very shortly. we are back underway here for the second half. Both sides unchanged after a first half which will have been disappointing for both sides in a way. Aspire because they didn't reach anywhere near their level, and Norwich because they actually played fantastically and were beaten by two very unlucky goals. Greg, would you say that's a fair assessment?
Certainly the first goal, really unfortunate. Having defended for 15 minutes resolutely.
But you'd expect, I mean, after a half time that did look animated from what I could see from Aspire, you'll expect a bit of a reaction out of them now. They've gone unchanged from the end of the first half.
I've said the floodgates will open, haven't I?
Yeah,
I've put my money where my mouth is. I said the floodgates will open.
we hope for Norwich's sake that that's not the case.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want the floodgates to open from a Norwich point of view, but I just think Aspire now they've got.
Here's Dan McClellan.
Ooh. Your brother's very lucky there.
Yeah, he's got away with one.
Well, that's what I think anyway.
Dixon. McClellan in the centre.
You're right, he really isn't afraid to pull the trigger, is he?
No. I quite like it though. It's quite refreshing. Often teams try and overplay it, but not in John Dixon's case. It's going to be a kick in for Aspire out on the right hand side. Going to be taken by John Boulding. In towards Dixon, now McClellan. Dan McClellan fires at the near post. Blocked by George. McClellan again tries to spin into it. It's going to be a kick in for Aspire out here on the right hand side. Taken quickly. Dan McClellan takes it. Dixon. Bit too hasty there from John Dixon. Thomas Donaher. Coleman. Kick in for Aspire. Coleman. So a lot more control about the start to this second half from Aspire. Barnard up against John Boulding. Does well to just get it off him and win a kick in. For Norwich on the halfway line, Mike Coleman is going to take it. And heavily involved Mike Coleman in a lot of defensive and offensive actions. Barnard on the spin, 2-on-1 given against Norwich. As Villa Rockets, I believe, have just taken a 1-0 lead over Sevenoaks on Court A. Here's Thomas Donaher. Little nick between the chair of his and Boulding's. Contact in the centre. Kick in for Norwich. Feels like Aspire are really having to slog this one out here.
Yeah, the reaction from half time that I thought we'd have was not really materialised.
Aspire undoubtedly have, on paper at least, a much more difficult day tomorrow with Colin Gordon's West Brom Throttles and then a game against Teesside. Teesside will be a tough game. I've heard they've got a bit of a dodgy keeper, but other than that, they'll be fine.
Starting the mind games early, are you?
Oh, no mind games from me. Here's John Dixon with the ball across towards the back post. Dan McClellan, good save, Mike Coleman.
Sorry, you're seeing this dodgy keeper who pulled off an absolute blinder of a save earlier, thank you very much. That even you yourself at half-time said, I don't know how they didn't go in.
Yeah, that was unbelievable, to be fair. Go back and... I would recommend, if you're somebody who's interested in the tactical side of power chair football, go back and watch Teesside Newcastle. It was one of the best 0-0 draws you'll see.
It was, yeah, I'll be certainly watching it back. Mainly that sort of 30 seconds where I've...
Slow-mo.
Yeah, slow-mo, just it'd be all over the social media probably, you know, just look at me.
Do we have a save of the season? In
No, we don't.
football?
In fairness, I thought John O'Davis pulled off one earlier that probably beats mine.
Here's Dan McClellan out on the right-hand side. Mike Coleman. Thomas Donaher in quickly on Boulding.
Oh, Dixon was in all sorts of space there.
Still with Aspire, 2-on-1 against Norwich. Had about 4 players just in and around the edge of the penalty area. Boulding, yeah, it's very well executed.
There we go.
That's the reaction. A little bit, I feel like it was the first time that we've seen a little bit of power in the game from Aspire, if you know what I mean.
That's a vintage move. 180, front bumper in. That's England play, that is.
Yeah,
Compressing the box, front bumper,
they work on that a lot. It's a good way to see if players are in sync when wingers and their middle players are pulling that off frequently. So satisfying. I think that might be my favourite type of goal in power chair, when it just gets pulled back and a midfield player just meets it. You know, it's fantastic. One of my favourite ones.
When he comes to the commentary box, the facial expression and the animation Charlie's just done is meets it. Proper aggression.
I remember, I think one of my favourite one of that was Dylan Kelsall in the Champions League against Aspire for West Brom. And literally, like, it's at the front post and he's just come steaming in, started in his own penalty area. Like, literally going the entire way. And I was up in the commentary box up high and watching it, and it was just, yeah, special. And, yeah, they're a fantastic goal to watch. And that's more like it from Aspire. We now have a 3-0 lead. Here's John Dixon. That's a good pass. People queuing up. Oh, it's well worked. That's excellent play from John Dixon.
Done really well.
Yeah, that's really good.
Good passing moves. Passing move, front bumper.
Dixon didn't try and take it on himself.
No.
We were talking about...
Unselfish.
Yeah, we were talking about trigger
play.
happiness earlier.
Yeah.
And that he'd had a lot of shots, but that was probably his best decision of the game, where he just decided to just cushion it back out wide.
He's gone off now, but I think he's had a really good 20-minute spell or so there. Really good.
He was excellent this morning as well, actually, in the first half, especially against Nottinghamshire. Really, really impressive. He's adjusting well. I think there was never a question whether he's a good player, but the fact he's managed to adapt so well to playing out wide and in a very different system, very different style of play to the one he was playing in before is really impressive. So, fair play to Dicko, as he's affectionately known. Now it's Jordan Williams, Sally McNeil. That's another nice bit of football. It's better from Aspire. They're moving it a lot more easier, and you know, you do wonder if Norwich, maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of...
I did say floodgates would open.
Yeah.
Rotated the squad a little bit. Interesting to see if John takes himself off, maybe give himself a little bit of a break.
Fair, it's been a relatively simple day in terms of timings for Aspire, I think. only arrived here at about 12, or their first game was at about 12 o'clock.
Must be nice. Just rock
Yeah.
up 12 o'clock, you know.
For a 12 o'clock kickoff, it's not bad.
And they haven't got last game as well.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
4-game weekend, yeah.
You've been finessed. They've finessed that.
Yeah, we're only getting here at like 12 again tomorrow as well, so.
Whereas we're in half 10 for the same kickoff at the end. Oh.
Yeah. Have fun.
Terrible.
Here is George adorning the goalkeeper jersey, but coming striding out of the Norwich City half. Boulding. Puts it down the line. McNeil. Oof. Evaded everyone that.
I think Jordan Williams tried to dummy it though, and then tuck it in at
Do you reckon?
the far post. You know, fake the
I
front.
think he sort of faked himself out of it as well.
Fake the front bumper at the near post and just put it in at the far post.
Jordan Williams. Here's Sally McNeil. Can only find Henry Barnard. Improving week by week, Henry Barnard. Definitely a player that in the future will be massively impactful for a Premiership club. Two on one in favour of Aspire. Boulding. Not a great delivery from Boulding. He takes credit for that.
They've recovered again of Norwich. They're under pressure, but they've recovered.
Yeah. That was about a 2-3 minute spell where the heads went for a bit, but they've managed to get them back now. Which is good to see. Still battling away. Here's Boulding. McNeil. Boulding. As it is level on court A. Sevenoaks, who, I mean, I haven't been able to watch the game obviously, but it looks like they look like they've been right in it, and they've got a goal back to a big roar. So good stuff from Sevenoaks.
There's the equaliser for the Oaks.
Just looking at the fixtures tomorrow for Norwich, they've got Throssell's and Greenbank, which are not easy games by any stretch of the imagination, but I think if they can take some of the elements from this and improve on a couple of things as well, then they'll have a chance of getting some points on the board. As here's McNeil. Shoots at the front post. Boulding. McNeil with a powerful spin and strike.
It's a cracking effort, that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a cracking effort.
Sort of wasn't really expecting it.
It was the only thing she had on.
So, just over 6 minutes remaining. I will be asking you for player of the match in about 5 minutes time, so
Thanks for the warning.
get thinking. Boulding to Williams. Corner kick. 5 minutes remain. Jordan Williams. Barnard. Sally McNeil. Kick in for Aspire. We're just sort of killing this game now, just seeing it out.
Well, I thought the floodgates would open, and they haven't. So credit to Norwich.
Here is Williams, back to bowling. He uses his keeper. Kelly gets it out of danger.
Off goes the skipper.
Good shift from John Boulding. I think he'll be the first to admit that the first half wasn't his best football, but managed to force it through for the opening goal and has dictated the game effectively since. Rosie Hodgson, who was frustrated, I think, with her early substitution, is back on. There's a massive goal on court A. Sevenoaks are in absolute raptures because they have taken the lead with just 3 minutes remaining. That looks like a massive, massive goal. The Rockets are reeling. Looks like a very entertaining finish.
Nice to see my former team doing well.
Yeah, you still have those affections, I'm sure, from
Unbiased,
very
obviously, but really nice to see them doing well.
Here is Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams. Coleman strikes. Now it's Jordan Williams who drives out with it, playing in the centre. Gives Thomas Donaher the eyes and then brings the ball out to the right hand side. Kick in for Norwich. Coleman. Here's Donaher. Jordan Williams. So two very entertaining games, very eye-catching games to end the day. On one court, Greg Baxter's Teesside against Marcus Harrison's Greenbank, and on the other court, a fascinating game between two very bright young teams. Leeds versus Newcastle, two teams that are going to be...
It's a cracking game, that.
Yeah, it's fiery.
Oh, what a game that is.
Yeah.
You got the pleasure of commentating that one, or are you?
I'm on you, unfortunately, so... No, I'm excited for that one. It's going to be a good game. Here's Rosie Hodgson. I'll make sure to every time refer to you as Yashin.
Yes.
Seems that's how you refer to yourself.
Yes, Yashin.
Yeah. Anyway, 40 seconds left. I'm going to ask you for your player of the match now. I gave you 6 minutes
John
warning.
Dixon.
Yeah.
20
John
minute
Dixon.
Yeah, 20 minute
You know what? That's who I was expecting you to say. You seemed very impressed with
20 minute cameo, and he wasn't afraid to shoot, which I think was the undoing of Aspire for early on. He played some really good passes as well. 20 minute cameo, I think, yeah, I'm going to give him player of the match.
Yeah, fair. I don't think I can argue with that.
Look at that, consensus.
I don't think there's been any massively, exemplary performances on either side, but yeah, John Dixon he had an impact on the game, which is what you want to do when you're an attacking player. As here's Bobby Williams. We are now into any time added on. Referee Ian Harley is just having a look at his watch.
Ian Harley, yeah, not Pete Buller.
Not Pete Buller.
Not Pete Buller, no, Ian Harley.
Now I need to rack my brain as to who Pete Buller is, because I'm doubting everything.
Clearly, it's someone who's had a very big impact on your life.
Yes, yeah. Just seconds remaining.
You know what, and credit to Norwich, 4-0. They've defended heroically of Norwich.
Very well.
On another day of Aspire, maybe taking some more chances, it would be may have been a bit of a bigger scoreline, but they've put in a really good defensive shift, and I hope that they can take some heart out of that and take it into the rest of the weekend in their games tomorrow.
Oh, I completely agree. Bobby Williams is on as well. Important to note. Wearing jeans, Greg.
Oh, I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either.
That,
he loves it. I mean, he's proud.
Not for me.
No.
Game's gone, mate. Game's gone.
Absolutely terrible. I'll let him know that we've had more negative feedback on the jeans. I mean, look at him. He's coming over here now. Yeah, he says it's the best 1 minute and 18 seconds he's ever had. I mean, the jeans were entertaining. That's the most important thing. But yeah, thank you guys for listening and for watching this game. It was Aspire 4, Norwich 0. Greg's got to go because he's got a big game on next. There's two massive games on both courts, so don't go anywhere. You'll get your Optegra Premiership fix for the Saturday. Will continue. See you later.